Perhaps the best way to demonstrate the value of GraphPad is to go through a couple of examples of how customers are using it. And in this case, I'm going to take Centex Foundation Repair in Waco, Texas, and how they use the product. And what they do is they level foundations, and so they need to estimate the number of piers. And I have some example prices. These aren't accurate. These are just kind of guesses. But say, for example, their salesman needed to level this foundation. What he would do is he would just sketch out the foundation either using a tape measure or one of these like a Disto D2 tape measures. And then all he needs to do to estimate the number of piers is to select the lines around the walls that they need to level and then select the pier type. And depending upon the pier type, they would actually have a maximum distance apart. And so in this example, I'm going to say it's 10 feet apart and calculate. And now GraphPad calculates the optimal spacing for these piers. And as you can see by looking at it, they're not actually 10 feet. What they are is 9 feet 3 inches along this wall. And along this other wall, if we select the 2 points, they're actually only 6 feet apart. And we can zoom in and see GraphPad has actually not only calculated the optimal number of piers, but also applied a price and giving per pier, giving us a total. Now, using different types of piers, they might have less expensive piers, but they have different spacing. And so we'll just back all this out, and we'll show if we selected, for example, the same perimeter and use a different type of pier. And in this case, this type of pier here is less expensive, but has a maximum distance apart of 6 feet. And so if we calculate, again, GraphPad calculates the optimal number of piers. And if we zoom in, we can see the total price. So it was $90 per pier in this case. We have to use 16 piers to do this, and so we save a couple of bucks. Now, not only does this save a lot of time for the estimator, but it can completely transform the dynamic. And so by giving the salesman the option of going through these in a very easy to use, non-technical, non-difficult manner, he can actually go through these proposals with the customers. And so the customer then can feel like he's engaged in the process, and there's a potential of actually increasing sales. Not only is this good for foundation repair, but say, for example, other industries where the possibility of upselling and being able to demonstrate this is what the product would look like, and there's where you have to place lightings, etc. like that, you can really transform the entire process in a much more favorable way and have greater customer satisfaction, save a lot of time, but hopefully in addition increase sales.